And here we go. Welcome back. Wake up with Wilder for the 2019 season, up and running. Excited for ODU football. I'm Ted Alexander. Each week at this time, we'll be joined by the head football coach, Bobby Wilder, to talk about everything Monarch football. And coach, lots of anticipation, lots of preps, lots of new faces, and here we are. It's game week.
Here we are. We're back. It's exciting, especially, Ted, with the... It's always exciting, the season starting, but now we've got this brand new, beautiful stadium that I feel like for its size is one of the, if not the top venue in America. When you talk about the capacity, number one, being around 22,000 people, but to have 30 suites, to have chairbacks, to have all the amenities, and the fact for us, Ted, as players and coaches, it's closer, it's higher, it's louder. We got to hear the band Saturday night, Alex Trevino's Troops. That's as loud as I've ever heard it, so the anticipation is definitely here.
So you take the marching Monarchs, you add 22,000 of everybody's best friends, and put in some Monarch football, and it could be a rock and roll.
It could be, and I'm hoping that's the case, Ted. I'm hoping we get that turnout. I'm hoping people are excited to come see it because it's new for everybody. It's new for the fans. It's new for the players. It's new for the band, the cheerleaders, the students, everybody, and that's what makes it so exciting.
So everybody's going to be figuring it out come this Saturday against the Norfolk State University Spartans. What are the things you want to try and figure out this week leading up to the game?
Well, the number one thing is it's our first game week, and for 46 new players, it's our first game week. We've talked a lot about the new players. Let's talk some about the veteran players. We have 64 returning players. We have 53 experienced players led by our captain, Lawrence Garner, on defense, 100 tackles last year, one of the best players in the league, and Isaac Weaver, who can play tackle, who can play center, offensive lineman for us, both juniors, both our most experienced players in terms of number of starts. So there's a lot to be excited about as we prepare for this game.
Week one means different things for every one of your players and coaching staff and fans. What are you concerned most about heading into Saturday? Because I know the focus is on yourselves more than the opponents, for example, in week one.
Yeah, the number one thing is the unknowns, the variables that happen. For anybody that watched that Florida State-Miami game Saturday night, you saw that without the ability to have scrimmages, without the dress rehearsal that is not for keeps in college football. The first time you strap it up, it's for keeps. And we saw in that game, anybody that watched it Saturday night, the number of mistakes that happened, particularly in the fourth quarter, because it's all new to the players. So you try to avoid those traps, Ted. You try to get the players to understand that you're going to be excited. You're going to face some adversity. As I already told our team, if there's 200 plays in this game, they're not all going to work out for us, but it's how you respond. How do you play the next play? So we're really going to focus on that mindset of that play the next play.
Well, and you've said that for your entire tenure here at Old Dominion, but easier said than done, I would think, for especially the new guys coming in and realizing that mistake is over. And you don't want that mistake to affect the next play.
The best teams that do well in the early games, Ted, are the ones that you narrow the scope of what you're doing in the playbook, because you're coming out a month of a camp and try this and try that and these formations and these personnel groupings. Okay, now we're in game week, and I just met with the coordinators earlier, and the sense and the talk with myself and the coordinators, let's narrow the scope on what we're doing. Let's focus on what we do well right now, what we're capable of doing well, and then you can add during the season. And I feel really good about where we are schematically in all three phases. Now it's the execution piece.
So what can you tell Monarch Nation that looks like? Is it a more conservative offensive attack and maybe a more wild open attack type of defensive attack?
Yeah, what people will see is they're going to see really good special teams. We've got a veteran kicker, two veteran kickers, and Nick Rice and Brad Davis. We've got a veteran punter in Bailey Cate, a veteran long snapper in B.R. Hatcher. So special teams, and with the depth we have now, this is the most depth we've ever had on special teams. So that critical field position that might seem boring to others, but to a head coach has me really excited. Offensively, Ted, it's more of the 11, 12 personnel groupings. You're going to see more tight ends on the field. It's the ability to run and play action pass. We have running quarterbacks. We have three quarterbacks that can run the ball that are all big. They're all 6'3 plus. They're 220 pounds. They can play in the run game, which we haven't had for a while. So they'll see that's different. offensively, and then you're trying to add the new pieces, Ted. You know, we're all excited that Eric Kuma's here and Chris Cunningham from Virginia Tech, and adding those pieces to the puzzle, so to speak. Defensively, we've talked a lot about what Coach Blackwell and his staff bring. It's a much more aggressive mindset defensively. Schematically, it's going to look different to people, to our players. It's a little more simplistic in what they see, and we've got to play to our strengths defensively, Ted. When you look at our linebacker position right now, 175 tackles out of the starters, Garner and Young. That's the most tackles in Conference USA returning. Really good backups in Demetrius Stitman and Therese Dickerson, who've had good camps. So there's 4 experienced guys, the most depth we've ever had in the back, and we've got 8 guys right now that we feel really good about in the secondary, and that's without seeing the younger guys yet, the depth there. And then on the defensive side of the ball, as you know, we moved Keon White from tight end to defensive end. He's been impactful in camp. Derek Wilder's had a good camp. Jawan Ross, inside, has played good football in camp. You look at the bandit position, Ted, there's 3 guys right there now that can play. Marcus Haynes returns. Remember, he had a couple sacks in the Tech game last year. Ryan Henry, Jeremy Miser inside. So there's quality players, Ted, at every position. It's a matter now of getting them inserted and then seeing what some of these backup ones can do.
Sounds like he's ready to roll.
Oh, so fired up.
Been a long time. Don't forget, each game week, it's the Bobby Wilder Coaches Show presented by Chartway Federal Credit Union at Wild Wing Cafe. That's Thursday night at 7 o'clock. And then this Saturday, Cornblow Field at SB Ballard Stadium. First time ever, Old Dominion and Norfolk State. Coach, we're looking forward to it.
Oh, here we go. So excited. Can't wait, Ted.
This has been Wake Up with Wilder with Bobby Wilder here on Monarch Media.